everyone. Looks like we're live here now. It might have been for 18 seconds. However, uh, grateful to be here. There's just so much transpiring that, as everyone know, as of late, that I have not been putting much out in the lines of updates and what has been transpiring with I and with them and what we've been doing in this journey. However, again, we are you can say yes, we are divinely 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just doing divine work always. That does play a role in what I share and purvey and put out to you all. And again, I receive many messages. I do try to answer most of my messages, if not all. I'm very thankful. My messages are limited now. And what I will say with that, with anyone sending me YouTube's these sort of things of what has already been done. Please refrain from that, and we wish only uh, the videos that are pertaining to important events in this now and going forward. And of course, as I've mentioned before, there's just not enough time in the day to watch videos and also, to watch what other teachers are putting out. Now, I need to speak fully my truth here. A lot of what I do put out, the other teachers also receive this information, but also take it and they expand upon it. And, as a divine group, this is how we work and how we um, purvey the information throughout the whole conscious collective. So, having said this, to diminish work by other teachers that some of you send me, please, just refrain from that. From time to time, I do check the quality and the content of what other teachers are putting out, more so as a gauge to see the new divine conscious concepts and how far they are integrating uh, within the timelines, within the consciousness uh, of the collective and the ripple effect. However, again, uh, as all of you that know me, that humility, uh, nor what you would call bad ego, nothing restricts me. So, again, having said that, I must speak my truth, and much of what some of you sometimes sends back to me are things that I have initiated and seeded years ago as well. So that is the truth, and I'm not the only teacher upon the surface. There are others, and we work together at informing and assisting the others forward. So enough of that, blah blah. So yeah, so much is transpiring. Uh, Fem and I are here in Croatia. We've been here approximately 2 weeks now. The intentions are to move eastward when the divine door opens. There was a slight change in the divine plan. We had anticipated being in Nepal in September. However, divinely, things were kind of changed, and we came here. And we kind of came here to Croatia for a rest as well from our extensive Egypt work, energetic work we were doing there for the entire period. And however, we came here for a rest, but unbeknownst to us, we've also now know that we are here for important divine reasons that are part of the divine plan as well. So ingeniously and divinely cleverly, uh, this is how it works. So we find ourselves here in beautiful Croatia with a very powerful, beautiful, divine comrades in their heart. And you know, once again, my total appreciation, respect, and total, I am totally impressed with the amount of divine ones here in Croatia that are empowered and in their heart. And with this, you know, I need to say that I love Croatia. I love the feeling here of Gaia. I love the energy here, and I love the people. And I have to say, this is one of the more heightened countries that I've been in, and it's because of this. And with this, I just totally wish to commend all of the divine comrades that are Croatian and that have been doing this magnificent uh, divine energetic work in this area. Uh, you know, when I first came in here a year ago, I could feel it and I loved it. And, you know, we first got acquainted with our Croatian divine comrades. And at that time, you know, we had discovered they were doing immense divine energetic work over the years. And it was evidenced in everywhere we went and everyone that we connected with. So just totally impressive. And, you know, to all of our divine Croatian comrades, you know, hats off to you. And stand an ovation uh, for all the terrific, magnificent, divine work you have done here in preparing Croatia for this ascension and for this very time, for all of humanity. It's not just, uh, you know, not just for Croatia. It's for everyone globally. So, just a powerful place here. So, uh, my utmost gratitude for all of you that have made this so. So it's just a total divine worthy mention of that. Very impressed and so grateful and so loving for it. So we're still rolling, I guess. Let me get a check from the comments. Can someone please just say if everything is going well? Thank you. My comment section, Daniela Perez, I believe. Ah, and Lily. She says love and light. Okay, so everything is going well. Okay, let's begin to. I wish to share with you a little bit of the work, divine energetic work we've been doing here in Croatia, Fem and I and others. Uh, Love and light to you as well, my cousin Maria. Okay, thank you, Paul. All is good. Um, so the castle track a scan here, and it's you know, noted for dragon energy, which is important again, without getting too much into the importance of the dragon energy and with this ascension. Uh, Essentially, the importance of any beliefs, including the dragon energy belief as well, they all play um, the major ones all play a significant role in this ascension because these beliefs are attached to many of the peoples upon the surface. So, you know, with the Islamic religion, Hinduism, Christianity, as with these beliefs, what needs to occur with the ascension, there has to be a transformation and a transition um, to higher divine knowledge. So this is why they become important. And of course, the dragon belief as well is widespread. And these are all very real energies and beliefs. And every belief is an energy and it is a part of creation. So in this ascension, to ascend the entire planet and the different beliefs and different peoples here, we need to transition the energetic beliefs. Now, as a creator, what we do and what Fem and I do as creators, we get into the energetic stream of the belief. It is a real stream, it is a conscious stream, it is a conscious entity, a belief is. So, with the dragon belief, the dragon energy, it is a very real conscious energy that those of you that know you are part of it and you tap into it. So we do as well. However, we get into the microscopics of the energy itself, the most minute particles that make up the energetic stream in the mainframe of the belief. And it is there that we need to connect in with when we begin our creative work. So we become one, more or less, with that energy, but at the most minute human uh, thought possible. So we get right into the creation itself, where we steer and we direct the energy. So the dragon energy is very important. So getting back a little bit, also with the Masons and also satanic rituals and these beliefs, and I'll throw superstition in there as well, uh, and there's a reason for that. However, getting back to these sort of beliefs, a lot of energetic work is clearing the satanic energy from areas. And really, the way that demonic and satanic and lower density and dark energies work, uh, they work upon a belief, but they also worked upon instilling fear from, let's say, an innocent child or a pure soul, a creator soul. And it needs to be known that the dark are not creators. Uh, they could not create their self. This is why they always uh, were masters of deception. They were, they no longer are. And they would trick souls to use their energy. And the reason why the darkness would do that is because they cannot create their self. They do not have the energy of a soul, of a pure heart. They don't have it. So what they would used to do is commit many sacrifices and many abuses of the human souls here, specifically the children, uh, to create a fear from the children or the sacrificed one themselves so they could use that energy because they could not create the energy within their self. That was taken from them. So they would, put one, instill one into a state of fear so that they could use their energy and control them. So in many of the satanic uh, practices, if you will, that is why there is always usually a sacrifice, a living human or either animal, anything that is living, to put it into a state of fear before they would sacrifice it, to harness the energy and to use in their functions. So, without getting too much further in depth with that, with some of the Masonic practices, and it runs right deep. The people do not fully uh, know um, the dark practices that the Masons use. Some do know, but really many did not know. And they work with energetic practices. So part of our clearing, there was a group of us at Track-A-Scan, and of course there was a Mason room in there, and There is a photo of a mason or a painting of a mason uh, displayed on the wall as well. But it was interesting. So a group of us were in there approximately a week ago, and we were um, clearing the place, clearing the energy, and also disempowering it for any future use. Um, Having said that, also there was another associated area that FEM had been clearing several days on her own, an old abandoned like manor, and it was very interesting the work that she had done. And with this, with them, and also with and others, sometimes we are attracted to areas to have a presence, and we don't consciously know at the time what we are doing. However, just our presence in areas, automatically and subconsciously, we are doing divine work. And this was the case. What we come to find is that Femke was clearing this manor miles away from the actual castle because they were both connected. They were both owned by the same family, at least at one time. So what we had to do was we come to know that, again, as a team, Fem and I, she was doing preparation work there, and then at the castle, several of us, um, divine comrades here, we all went in and did an extensive clearing of the entire castle. And one of the reasons why we had to do this extensive clearing was that because it was still being in use by the elite to a certain degree with futile attempts to uh, control through energy. And it was very interesting within that castle here in Croatia that there was one room directly above the main mason room, uh, directly a little bit to the side, that when we went up on the second floor, it had a couple Hathor Egyptian like candle holder statues, about this high, but they were conduits for the Egyptian energy. And the reason they chose Hathor um, in the representative of Hathor, and also they had Mother Sekhmet in there a little bit. And the reason they chose these ones is because they, through the religious, or not, through the Egyptian belief, uh, Hathor also assists in transitioning the soul from this realm to the higher realm. So she is a powerful energetic goddess in that respect. So during their energetic rituals in the castle, if you will, to assure no remnants of fear remained when the soul was, let's say, ready to leave this realm. What it was, they would use the Hathor goddess energy to take the fear aspects or the remnants of the soul out of this realm. Now, this occurred before, prior to 2015. What we call the dark reincarnation loop was broken in 2015. And the reincarnation loop was with the darkness sacrifice of souls here, like by killing the physical vessel and allowing the soul to leave this realm. The dark had created a reincarnation loop, a false heaven, where the soul would go up into a false heaven and it would come back down into a physical vessel that could be utilized and the energy harnessed again for sacrifice. So they were, let's say, keeping a kitchen for themselves by creating the false loop. And the way they created that, it was more so they did not they were not able to energetically create it, but they did it through various other means that allowed it to be. However, without getting into detail with that, that loop, reincarnation loop, was broken in 2015. And what we also did, because of the seriousness of this ascension, but also to assure it, we began to put out the information that your soul contracts could be changed consciously in this now. And many of you have been doing that through your mantras and, taking back your divine authority energetically, your divine consent, why you are here uh, clean up and to clean up how you were imposed upon by the dark, but also to set your soul free that once we're done this mission, we go to the very beautiful places. So it was all again divinely assured. So with Trakistan, several of us was there. We completed beautiful work there. Not anything that I can remember extravagantly energetically that we felt with the group that we had. We had the right divine selected group. The divine attributes were contained within each, and we did our clearing together to clear many avenues of many energetic values because sometimes you wish to be energetic specific when you're doing this important work to get into certain energetic threads with beliefs and the intents. So we did that beautiful clearing. There was five of us that day. Yes, it was I and Fem and three other Croatian divine comrades, sir. So that was Trakistan. We did that one day, and of course, Fem was doing subsequent clearing at the manor that was connected with it, and I will say at the manor. Also, it's a very important energetic spot, and it's in a park that's here in Venetia. And it's the park where all of many different types of trees are planted there. And it was to great divine appreciation that there's a ginkgo biloba tree planted in this park. And ginkgo biloba is one of the most ancient medicinal um, trees that there is. Many valuable uh, essential ingredients to the old human vessels. And, one of the greatest things with ginkgo biloba, um, and I had used it before I was in this, fully in this body and awakened. So when I became awakened, I brought down my higher divine aspect within this. I'm still Rick, I always was. However, during the awakening process, I brought my divine authority down with me, which came the complete divine connection to Creator, my all of my soul inner knowing that I needed here, and activated all of my channels with that. Now, however, I am Rick, and Father always says, even though I am many, Father says I'm to attain uh, the identity as Rick here. Um, having said this, going back to the ginkgo biloba, so when I was human Rick, um, I had taken that for years, and one of the reasons I took it was because, if I recall, in my early 20s, there was like a fog in the consciousness, and um, I know now divinely it was set up. However, I come across listening on the radio one day speaking about this ginkgo biloba, and so nevertheless, I went and got it, and I started taking this natural capsule. And let me say, it worked, and I was very appreciative. It cleared the consciousness right up, and also it gave this physical vessel a lot of vitality. And, you know, I was at that age anyway, I was already young, and the work, physical work that I did then, we would work at fast speed, you know, about 18 hours a day some days. So I was in top shape. However, I did notice the good effects of the ginkgo biloba. I'm rambling on here. So, but a nice ancient tree in that park, and also that park, worthy of mention is that the golden trees, when you see these, you know, the leaves change colors at these time of years, but if you see a golden tree with the golden leaves, like pretty much by itself, and it does signify a very important portal, and it also marks where the location of a portal. So these are good indicators, you know, in September and October, where portals or higher energetic spots are for these golden trees are divine indicators as well. So just for your own information. So let me check here. Yeah, so in with the dragon energy, we're connected. I will share Femke went a little bit deeper in connecting more with the dragon energy because it's so heightened here in Croatia, and she is almost completely integrated at this point into that energy, and this means that she has upcoming work, or both of us together, in this area to raise more of the dragon energy. So there will be upgrades. Any of you utilizing your dragon energy, your gifts in your dragons, there's also going to be more heightened experiences and abilities with this. You will notice the strength of your individual dragons when you give them the assignments, and also within your own prowess. As a result, over the last 2 weeks, every one of you have been becoming stronger and stronger and stronger in your divine abilities and your divine gifts. Now, I know many of you could probably just say at this moment that you're seeing your manifestation abilities are becoming more instantaneous, and you're absolutely correct. And once again, I need to reiterate, it's so important at this time to be very conscientious and meticulous with your words that you speak, and also that you write, and also your thoughts. Uh, you are in a higher creational mode, and it becomes very important that you pay acute attention uh, to everything you write, speak, and think. Keep it positive to the fullest. Even though something might be negative that you see, you have the divine power at this time as a co-creator to turn that negative thing instantly into a positive thing. And this is part of what you're to be doing here as well, as co creators and co contributing to the divine plan. Part of the mission is to uh, erase negativity and instill the highest potential of the positivity. And as creators, uh, co creators with your consciousness, this is how you do it, how you make the great change. So be very conscientious and get rid of the word can't, because you can do everything. Get the brain trained and know that there are only solutions. Like John Lennon, I believe, would say, there's no problems, only solutions, and we are the solution. And each one of you is the solution for specific things, but we are the divine solution. So trust yourself, your connection to Creator, and trust your ability to put everything to positive and to love and put it in a divine perspective. Now remember, not only are you doing this for yourself, you are doing it for everyone else. And you are contributing to that and everyone that is doing it. The mission is not about us. We have already ascended. We are back here doing this mission to assist those and that have not ascended, but we are assisting them to ascend. So this is not about us. Your needs, your basic needs, your requirements is all taken care of. Do not be distracted by that. Get your divine authority down uh, within your physical and energetic being here and begin to be the divine uh, authority that you are. This is so important. And your needs are divinely taken care of when you surrender to your higher divine service and you bring down, instead of having your higher self up here, you bring it down into the living self, and that changes everything for you and it empowers you. And again, we are not to be selfish at all. And this is also the reason why many of you powerful ones have had everything material taken away from you. And you know, one of the reasons is you cannot have these energetic material attachments and distractions, is what they are. We're here to do a very important divine mission, and you need to be the strongest beyond the human conception that you can be. And we are above human logic. Yes, we are. We defy that because we are part of the divine realms, which is all of creation. We are the science that creates. We are above this. If science discovers something, it's because we are the co creators. It's because we exist and we create that. So it's very important to know your divine prowess and trust that above everything else. Um, because truly and really, every one of you is omnipotent beyond this realm. And it's time to take your power back from this realm, meaning do not give your consent away to anything that is less than divine. You know, speak your truth, follow your guidance, but don't submit to anything less than divine. That is important. We're still rolling. Um, okay. Still smoking cigarettes. Trying to find a more natural cigarette here in Croatia. Anyone seeing this, if you do have a good natural cigarette uh, brand that you could select to me, will you please do it? I'm smoking what is Filter 160, they're called. They're a pretty good brand, but they still have some chemicals in them, and I wish to get to the natural, but with a filter on them. You know, I can roll, and occasionally I do it. However, I'm usually so busy that I prefer not to roll and just grab a pretty good natural filter cigarette, you know, with pretty good ingredients in. Uh, I smoked Cleopatra brand when we were in Egypt, and that was a higher quality, but you had to get the Egyptian brand to have it. If you would get a Chinese or a Russian brand, I believe it wasn't as good as the Egyptian Cleopatra brand, which was good. You can uh, you could smoke it. The smell was not like what comes from other cigarettes, you know, which smells more toxic, and it was a better cigarette. So anyway, anyone in Croatia, please PM me if you have a source where I can get a better natural rolled cigarette, already rolled cigarette. Thank you. I'm going to touch here I haven't been on for so long, and I've been rambling 35 minutes, but there's so much to say. I'd like to touch on another very important recent activation that 10 of us did. And I alluded to this activation work in a post on this timeline where uh, I loved Stephanie Sarton's little video where it shows something like a connection. So in that post, I alluded to the important portal work that we did here. Um, so I wish to expand a little bit further on this little bit of activation portal work that we did. Now, with this, we had a group of 10. Um, to summarize it very quickly, we had the right ones. Harmonics is very important. We did have a Himalayan singing bowl there, but we also had the feminine harmonics to hit a certain pitch in a certain tone that is within the divine mother aspect of each of the divine feminine. And harmonics is important with uh, connecting from the fourth dimension to the fifth dimension here. And as you know, acoustics and harmonics was present in Egypt with their ceremonies as well, deeper into what the Egyptians knew and also how to ascend to what they called the afterlife. So harmonics is very important. It is a vibration, and it affects frequency to a certain state that allows the transition of reality. So, having said this, in your activations, as we know in many shamanics and different ceremonial practices that uses harmonics, we know the importance in vibration of the harmonics. So, having said this, in this portal, it was important that we had a certain harmonics. It was important that we had certain individuals there that had activated uh, some of their past galactic existence, for example, Pleiadian, and there was also a new one, which I'm very grateful for, a new galactic connection, so incarnated here upon the surface. So we had, an array. We had space holders as well as clearing for Gaia. So among the 10, each one contributed in their own ways to make the activation a success. So we activated this high area. And at this point, I need to say that, many things in the Bible are true, and we also know that there are many untruths. The thing with the Bible, again, it's an energetic belief and it's widespread. So, in this particular activation of this portal, what we had needed to do in conjunction with the divine plan, we had to go into the Genesis part of the Bible and Jacob's ladder. Um, there's a lot of information I will not purvey here because, again, I could ramble on and ramble on. But the significance of Jacob's ladder is so important as well at this time. So, just very quickly, with in Genesis uh, and within any other afterwards references to Jacob's ladder, it's so important. And also with Jacob's ladder, you need to look at what Jesus said that a rich man, uh, you know, cannot go through the eye of a needle or a camel. Like trying for a rich to get to heaven is like trying to put a camel through the eye of a needle. So the importance with that, it means that the material things cannot be embellished. You know, I need to say that you can be wealthy and share, because we are in those times. However, you cannot be wealthy and watch another beside you starve or what have you to to get to basics. So there needs to be the transition uh, for the ascending ones, let's say the middle class, they need to ascend as well. And, most of everyone has been given a choice. So if you look at the oligarchs of the society or the elites, for the most part, any of those, they were given the opportunity several linear years ago to begin to share their wealth. If not, it would be divinely taken from them, and that is assured. So, with the Jacob's ladder, what we had to do is any that were not letting go of the material greed world, especially attached to the money, well, they will be set down very abruptly at this time. They cannot ascend that ladder unless they make the right choices. Just to give you an example, so you have the spiral, is what it is, of Jacob's ladder. But if you have ones that were up, because they're good of heart, they are a soul that has good intent and good value, except, they were encapsulated by the greed and the competition from society. They have a choice to either assist humanity to the fullest and do all of the divine virtuous things right now, or they're set right back down, meaning that all of their material things, everything that they had, will be very abruptly taken from them. Now, it depends on the individual circumstance, what soul this happens to, and what their divine direction is here in this now and going forward. So, having said this, you could see from riches to rags, for example, in the blink of an eye to get this straight. And, things are happening very rapidly. There's only a few months to do this because it's divinely scheduled that after December 22nd, uh, that the full power is given to the good souls, the people of the planet, uh, to administrate the whole world. Here globally, it's no longer going to be the same as what it is. So, having said that, everything is divinely assured that the wealth disparity, if you will, is eradicated, and we are putting, uh, you know, uh, the poverty that was created by the governments and the misery and the sickness and the lack. We are eradicating that, and next year is the most glorious time for everyone upon the surface as we break that control of the money, what the elites and their puppets, the elites' puppets, which were the governments, what they imposed upon everyone to control them. So, where they controlled everyone through money, what we're actually doing with this divine plan, we're taking that control away by distributing the money temporarily, equally within everyone, to eradicate all of the unharmonious things that were here present on the planet, like misery and lack and the restriction of money, the deprivation, the government programs, all of these things were just protocols and programs to administer and maintain a control. But that's all gone. As you're seeing, it's all being wiped out so efficiently and so rapidly. Uh, so, part of our doing, opening this portal, activating it to the highest, and it included a Jacob's ladder aspect. And also with that, I will say one that accompanied uh, us, the 10 of us, in doing this important clearing and activation. She is directly connected to the Jacob in the Bible. So it was very appreciative, very important that she was there. But and nothing is by ever by chance, and everything is all always strategically, divinely orchestrated and planned ahead of time, and we play the roles and go into it perhaps many times without knowing why until after the fact. However, so very good. Just looking at some notes. So that area is activated. It's a cave, actually, and it's very powerful and a very beautiful activation. As the ladies were doing the clearing, uh, at that time I was holding space. We were holding hands in a meditative like circle, 10 of us, and as they cleared the ancient portal from the density and to get it upgraded, ready for the 5D. It was so beautiful. I could feel the cold, divine air come in to take the place where the density was removed in to charge the cave we were in, the portal area. So it was very beautiful, and others I know felt that at that same time as well when we're all interconnected. So with that, there was much release from Gaia as well, because again, the divine feminine are connected directly into Gaia and the mother creator aspect. So we had beautiful, immense purging of the pain that energetically had to come out through one and a couple others to get energetically to get that removed. So they played the conduit for removing the negative energy and the pain that was associated very deeply with Jacob's ladder, with what occurred and uh, the sort of conditioning of a memory imprint from anyone that read the Genesis and how they perceived it. So we had to cleanse these thoughts and also that part of the Bible. And, as I alluded or didn't allude, I specifically put it out several times in the past. We are also writing a new Bible, but it's more so a new guidelines to creation, and also for humanity to leave behind here to eradicate the negative dark imprints and the manipulation of ancient teachings. So it's divinely assured, and we are writing, the new Bible and saying, these negative things got to go. These are not correct. Like, let's take in the Islamic religion, for example, there will be no blood sacrifice of any animals to Allah, to Creator. You do not kill an animal that has a soul. So these sort of things will no longer be. There will be no bloodletting of these animals, any sacrifice as such. So that will also is being eliminated. For example, from the Islamic religion, uh, they they no longer serve, and also it is not what creator is. We are full of life. There is never a sacrifice as such to creator. That is not creator. It is not us. You do not make any blood sacrifice. Uh, so that is being cleared up. So after the ladies did the most part, the divine feminine in clearing the portal and also reaching the harmonics, which was very beautiful. Activated it, and I could see that it was activated. And once we had it activated up and running, I walked outside of the cave to anchor in the divine rays, uh, which were applicable for there. And I anchored in the gold and the green ray. And of course, the golden ray is for, at this time, for the crown chakra in the higher consciousness. So that was anchored in here steadily, as well as the healing green energetic ray as well. And I brought that green ray in. I was divinely instructed to do that. Looking at a heart shaped uh, piece of food that's laying on the floor here. But I brought in the healing as well so that it's assigned with the portal, whoever may go there in the future as well, that this healing ray will initiate and activate any healing within the individual too, and it will put the higher consciousness, the crown chakra opening as well will also occur. Now, what I need to say with this portal, ones don't individually need to go there. Once we have a portal up and running, it is emanating this energy out through reality. So we brought down 5D, I brought down the crown chakra in the healing rays. Now that is emanating outward all around Gaia from this point, really. It ripples out. See, energy never stops, it's never destroyed, it only changes. But this is divine energy, and it is assigned a divine sequence that it affects in the most positive ways everything that it touches. And it does go globally, it goes for infinity, and it is charged divinely. So, having said that, it is having significant effects globally. And now, as grandiose as that may sound, that is real. This is the power of I, it's the power of you, it's the power of us. And it is very, very real. So, having said that, upon locking that in, I want to share with you because I did say it in the post, but uh, so I did the energetic sequence of locking it in, and let me say, wow, I almost left this physical vessel when I locked it in and snapped it down to Gaia, and there came this a digital sort of noise like that. It was a sipper noise, like a sipper, a big sipper being sipped up, and then it was that digital noise, and then smack, it was connected. And wow, at that point, a high pitched sound came in, the highest frequency that you would almost cover your ears from it just for a couple seconds. But this was the indicator to let me know that uh, boom, it was down, it was attached, and it was activated. That was the high pitch sound that, and then uh, it calibrated and it was activated and it's up and running. But let me say that was very powerful. Now, with not only with this portal in Verazdin here, Lydia, especially at her place, and Zhenka, she stays, and many others in Verazdin, which is very coolly also referred to as the City of Angels. And, it's a very important place in this ascension. However, the portal um, is also, there's a portal over Verazadim. And with our physical eyes, I could also see about 12 feet above the mesh, like a screen mesh stretching when we were there uh, a week or a few weeks ago. And what it means is that it was stretching because we are connecting the 5D. So we could see the matrix, if you will, ready to break. And Stephanie Sarton, she refers to this as well, and she captures it with her photos. And having said this, um, also with Lydia's phone and the photos she's taken, she is capturing lines on the phone, which represents the matrix, the grid, the dimensional grid of the different realities. See, what we are doing, the 5D reality is not fully in place that everyone exists into it until we have the full freedom of humanity, which occurs, after December 22nd, when the power is given and we change the whole state of the world where uh, everyone is in abundance in a place of harmony and uh, taken care of. No more poverty, no more sickness, none of these created things any longer. We change everything, but so it's what you call also the matrix. That yeah, we're breaking right through it. So great advancements made. Um, I know I'm rambling on here, 55 minutes, and I have so much to say. Uh, so anyhow, very importantly, that is connected, that portal up and running, and much gratitude to all that participated in that and making it so, and many effects. I think the next day afterwards, as I watched in the sky portal, Femini have opened here, many signs of what was going on. I did do a short video to try to show you when the clouds would come over where the portal was at, then you would see them being affected by the energy of the portal. That was an indication for that it's up and functioning and working very well as a vortex. So a lot of times when I speak about portals, they are like tornado-like vortexes of energy is what they are, cyclical. Okay, good. So that's what we've been doing here, and meeting, of course, with others. Some new ones, transferring a lot of codes. Femke and I have from our times in Egypt as well. There are other activation, initiation codes from the Egyptian era in the beliefs that we now carry too. So we just uh, pass those on, like physical, just being in physical proximity. So the new heightened codes are being transferred. We're also beginning to meet with some new ones and assist them at empowering them up, with their light body, getting the heart chakra going, getting uh, the light body, the Makaba, activated, and your divine energies. So we're doing that, assisting in assisting in advancing others as well, which becomes even more powerful. And of course, there are sometimes I'm having calls on Facebook Messenger with some other ones, always assisting. It's what we do. Uh, for every one that we assist with during this time, every divine one, it makes an overall difference to the vibration of Gaia and also to the upliftment, the rapture of this ascension. And with this, the rapture is actually everyone ascending in the consciousness and the state of being as well, which is, the ascension. Some take the rapture to the 5D, stay a period, others go higher, and it depends individually on the soul's divine designation and also their choice as to what is experienced, let's say, after the completion of the mission. And with that, uh, unless something changes, which I'm not given that, but it's looking like the mission, the greatest, most hardest, strenuous part of this mission uh, is over now. However, let's say some conclusions and some closing details um, does occur after December as more of the new is widespread and created upon the planet. However, these are forward uplifting uh, events that occur, and very rapidly. The change emanates entirely around the globe. And and with the effects of that, I got wrote down here. The Netherlands, I believe one of the justices there, when you began to look at the peers and professionals that was within governments and societies, and when you began to see them resign, especially with this what they call the pandemic. When you begin to see this, it's happening at a consciousness level that their consciousness will know, in their conscience, will no longer allow them to play the false roles and be part of the lies. And this is where it is divinely assured that they do not continue. So when you have ones like in the Netherlands and Australia, um, Canada, I believe, when you have health ministers, finance ministers, judicial ones resigning from their posts at governments, it shows you that the transition from the way it was is well underway. And again, you are going to see more of this occur very rapidly and daily. You will see ones resigning and taking up the truth, because again, the crown chakra opened in September 22nd, which is much higher. And those that were of good intent and a high consciousness, they are even higher now. And we have these ones within the professional society, within the experts. And having said this, they are the dominant ones, meaning that any of what you would call 3D orthodox medical doctors, they are given the choice now to either stand with the truth or implode. And, so on an individual conscious level with any expert, any professional, they are given the choice to what they are going to do. Come forth and reside with the overall prominent truth or to implode. So, with that, many are coming along, so they are going to make the choice of telling the truth. So, you'll either see many resignations or you will see the steering of the truth being put there. And when you look at, like with the pandemic, if you look at associations or organizations like the WHO, the CDC, these health organizations, you see them all changing their story very rapidly. uh, where you're seeing the inconsistency, it's showing the uncertainty that they don't have, and what you're seeing is the consistent light, which has been speaking the truth. It's becoming very rapidly dominant, and it's because it's backed by divinity. Again, it's omnipotent, so nothing stops this. And with the beautiful consortium, divine consortium, I'm calling it, in Germany, led by, the beautiful doctor there. You're seeing that growing just incredibly quick with so many doctors. The World Doctors Association as well, I believe, is a part of it. The People's Court, getting into that video that I posted, which is, I've been watching it. It's been, many of you perhaps did not even see it on my timeline because it was censored to some degrees. However, it is getting out there and it is the truth. Um, and nothing stops it. So we're amidst this divine process where the ascension, yes, is secured and assured, and it is omnipotent. So, we're seeing the confirmations, as I mentioned, Netherlands, Australia. We're seeing ones resign, more countries perhaps around the world. There's so much coming out that I cannot fully keep up with everything. And let's take the leader of North Korea, uh, Kim Jong, Kim Jong, yeah, him coming out and knowing that the days are up of any of the old government ways, and ones they will be redeeming themselves publicly. And like, for example, some of the health ministers around the world, they'll be putting out the truth. They have to redeem themselves by putting the truth to the public. And during the course of this, everything is unraveled with the governments and with the lies and what they, you know, did to try to further control and enslave humanity. And it's all part of a divine process. So you will see much more of it come out. Um, I had seen some information that apparently it was on a Charlie Ward uh, YouTube, and they alluded to that there were, it wasn't publicized, but that there were arrests of, I believe, political figures in France had taken place, uh, that they had locked only a few days ago, some or many of them up. So another important factor showing you that, yeah, it's real. Everything we said about these are actual confirmations, though, that it's occurring. Um, you also, you have the whistleblower for the M6 for the team connected with, I believe it's Afghanistan, but you have this whistleblower also set up with what is occurring politically within the U.S., which I don't want to get too deep into. But what you are seeing is also the revelation of the truth that's coming out, that the darkness in the elite, the remnants of them, they are very frantic at this time. There is no recourse, there is no reprieve whatsoever for them, and they are going down hard. And what you see is divine ones like the whistleblower. We need, and like myself, like you need no protection because we are divinely protected for what we are and our divine mission here. And we are above anything. Uh, there is no danger whatsoever. And many of you have come to find this on your own when you spoke your truth, when you stand in your divinity. Boom, you are indeed untouchable and invincible. So, again, this is the divine assurance that this ascension gets done. Nothing stops it. All of the key players of the light, they are there hard. Sure, there might have been some censoring, but that's also about to go. Because with the censoring, it is breaking universal law, it's breaking the divine law that is currently upon the planet. And those that attempt to impose the censorship of the truth, uh, there are very serious repercussions for themselves that they create. And upon themselves, they create, in the least, a karmic, they become a karmic negative magnet where many multiple times more negativity they will create upon themselves that implodes them. Uh, so again, this is a divine mechanism that anything that resists the word of creator, that resists the divine plan, very quickly they create a wrath for their self. And these are the judgment days. Most of the judgment days are over because the choices were made. However, there is also choices being continuously made, by the ones that resist, um, that very quickly and very rapidly it will set them on their butts. And, they'll be given that choice to come forth and tell the truth and do the right thing, or they will become very, very sick and implode in the simplest. So, um, so what we see, I touched on this. Yes, the consciousness from September 22nd has expanded. You're seeing more and more doctors, professionals, experts coming up, speaking the truth, showing what governments and what have you have done or tried to do. Can someone just give me an update of how I am going along? The last comment I see here is from Brother Mike Whitefeather, and he says hello. It's showing 1 minute ago. Can someone just say if everything is good? Thank you. So, is it glitchy or is it going well? Thank you for any reply. Good. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Beautiful. All clear. Good. That's what I love to hear. Uh, so, most importantly, with this energetic update, you can say we have been shifting upward, as everyone noticed over the last couple weeks. Much higher highs, much information uh, coming out, as well as confirmations on the timeline that, yeah, the consciousness and the awakening is rapidly expanding. And a lot of what you can do to take as one indicator with these very important YouTubes that are put out by uh, ones of the light that were censored, and they tried to censor them. You see the views that are going up on these. It's very important. And one thing to know that, let's say, if there's 1 million views on one of these YouTubes, that one that saw it, they're verbally also speaking to others. So it's having a much broader effect and impact as well. So very rapidly it's going. So, you know, it was a pivotal point the other night when Femca and I watched that important 18-minute video titled The Moment for Change is Now. For the first time in this ascension, I need to say what we saw was the divine assembly of divine ones that are now organized, ready to take the new forward. Uh, and it is substantial. And when you look at the constituents of that consortium, uh, what you see is ones, let's say, um, from different professional fields, and as they say, experts. And it's very substantial to see them saying they're prepared, and what they need is the support of the people, which they are very quickly garnering. And this is the new way. The old ways the government's proved with this whole pandemic that uh, any politicians in there that supported it are incompetent and unable to take humanity forward. So, it's all being divinely proved to the people to help them awaken. And some of the restrictions, were so absurd that the most common child would not even want to, uh, adhere or comply with these ridiculous restrictions that made absolutely no sense. So it's very divinely orchestrated as well to wake them up very quickly, where, these things are, by any layer of consciousness, are irrefutable, undeniable. There is no logic nor rationale with the government decisions, and very easily, ones can see this, and what it does, it wakes them up to take away the support from the old and to assign their support to this new liberating uh, reality that we are in. We are in it. So, it's organized, it's all set up that there is an administrative panel that is garnering strength and organization and orientation as we go forward. So the fundamentals are in place, the foundation is in place for the people, which, uh, part of that consortium involves lawyers, which you need for a certain framework to transition out of the 4D into the 5D. Those are there. You have biologists, virologists, professors, scholars, uh, experts, in many of the professional fields that fully divinely can handle themselves in any resistant uh, debate from the 4D orthodox medicine and virology and legal fields and what have you. So, what you have is a very intelligent, comprised divine force that is coming out, and nothing with divine intelligence, nothing from the old governments, old worlds can contend with it. They are just simply no match for it, but there is the process of the lesser being eliminated as the dominant higher consciousness expert professional field integrates more to lead and steer humanity out of the lower density consciousness into the new 5D where we are going. Also, with this, you have many sovereign groups, and again, I express the importance of all of these global sovereign groups that have been working on legalities and overpowering the man written old laws for all these times that continue to unite and come together now as one. I know many of you groups were separated globally. That was divinely strategic to do the work and to begin to uh, test your principles of divine law against various governments and what have you. That's all been done. So now we are at time for a united global effort just to go forward fully and integrate the full new, the people's law, and all of this. And again, at this point, any governmental law, any international law, it's all null and void. It does not have effect, and it does not have effect because it has violated itself. And if you have any law that violates itself, it becomes null and void. And let's say the old laws have been violated so much that it also, the only ones left to enforce the real rule of law, the true rule of law, are the people themselves. So when the representatives uh, have not represented the people, then what occurs, the representatives become incompetent, which they are, and then it is the people's, the citizens' obligations of the world to take the matters in their own hands. And this is what is divinely occurring at this time. So, again, it's inevitable, all of the old structures and the new is being implemented. So I see that video I mentioned, which I'm just so impressed with. We got 156,000 views on it, since a few days ago. However, any of you, I suggest, if you haven't seen it, to watch it and to share it with others. This is more. It's a great hope, this video, but it's more than that. It's already foundation. So it's beyond a hope. It is a reality. And now it just needs to be supported by the people as they awaken. And this brings it into full fruition. Uh, what we will be doing, some things with, let's say, this consortium, as we transition out of the old, there are things with the monetary system that needs to be refined and some of the ideology. Uh, However, as we say, it's growing uh, in refinement, so things will be um, eradicated. And eliminated to more finely uh, reflect the divine timeline that we're quite capable of going in right now, and especially within the monetary system. I do not wish to see any new monetary tributaries to the new, including things like taxes, loans, investments, competition, profit, gain. All of these are irrelevant old economic attributes that are no longer required with where we are going and what is quite attainable at this time. So we can eradicate many of these transitional ways, as well as the RVs and the allocation and distributions of money. Anything with the RV, it has to be done now, and it'll only have a duration of a short period as well, but it will give some of the footing um, if it does come to fruition before December, it will give the footing to jumpstart many humanitarian projects. However, the way that it's been going in the stalling, it may be in the best interests for us just to bypass that and let's just keep going to activate the full world monetary divine financial system unhinged, unbacked by any assets, and it's just an energetic electronic system uh, that is not attached to any debt, any looping mechanisms like taxes, none of that. It's a free flow forward that is created uh, with the support and of every man, woman, and child upon the planet. So you do not need the old financial markets or any of that. We can very quickly have a full streamlined system going forward where immediately, and with this, once we have this integrated, it causes a huge upliftment. And you can imagine, you take where everyone is now with fear, with a lot of the masses with fear, pressure from money because they have none. They're looking, for food. So many have been uh, pressured severely that it is a low density energy. So now you could imagine with just one announcement in the blink of an eye that we say, every man, woman, and child, right in this moment, we are giving you an initial equivalent of 5,000 US dollars right now to for you to have whatever you need. In the moment that is said, just something hypothetical, well, not hypothetically, just something like that because it is a reality. Boom, you have an overall shift in Gaia. The joy and the happiness and the relief that such a magnificent announcement would make to this planet. It fixes so many things instantly. And let me just say, it causes a monumental shift, an unprecedented shift in humanity. And again, when I was first awakened, we were 123 linear years behind where humanity should have been, and that was in 2010, 2011. Right at this period of time, we are only months behind to get humanity on universal schedule. And when I say universal schedule, that is on the schedule uh, for galactic contact, other race contact, the advancement of humanity into what you could call a civilized race and out of the savagery where it is now, where you have different classes and levels of being, and to erase the class disparity and to be all equal as well. That's when humanity becomes civilized, and when humanity stops creating the misery and the lack that the governments were and the elite were infamous for doing. So we're eradicating it all. And it's been a huge, tedious, strenuous process of all of us at doing this. And our ships are here, they're getting closer. To the surface day by day, and there can be a landing at any time in the blink of an eye. We can have the initial first contact. I'm saying perhaps it can happen at any moment, but we're perhaps only months away from it really occurring substantially for everyone to see. uh, for you that have been awakened and advanced in your crystalline body, and we see the ships and we see many other dimensions and aspects of reality. We can experience this, and you could have someone standing beside you that's not awakened, and they would see none of it. However, as they awakened, then they began to see as well, and they will. So when they are ready, let's say for a more full contact, when the entire humanity is ready, and what prepares them for that is this lifting them out of this lack and enslavement and putting them into the area of abundance. Then uh, that allows for the frequency to allow for the first contacts as well to all of humanity, and for it to be written into the timeline and integrated and accepted by all humanity, that it is a given fact. And so So again, with that, we are the creators. We did it. We're playing out the roles to get it integrated into linear time for the human soul experiencer, and we are not restricted to this area. We have locked in our soul contracts to do this mission, and but having said that, each one of you, we have the ability at any given moment to leave this reality. However, because of the seriousness of this divine mission, we have locked ourselves in to the duration of the divine plan to assure that humanity ascends. And that mission is coming very close. And with that, I feel by December that again, um, each one on a soul level, that if we choose to ascend, that you can leave here and continue on um, with other dimensional experiences or what have you. But also, there's a lot of fun coming to the 5D for humanity once we get them situated, because also with the vibration, when it's raised after December, um, you are activating many of the ancient interdimensional portals as well. And once their consciousness and their vibration of the unawakened ones is raised, then they are able also to see and interact on the energetic levels with the beautiful divine presence that are in store too. So it gets very beautiful and very magical. The new reality, the 5D, and the liberation for humanity. But again, uh, to sustain this higher 5D reality, we need humanity uplifted. And the only way to do that is to alleviate the lower density fear and all of these things from them. And one of the greatest ways of alleviating that fear, again, is to showing them that they have a choice. Uh, let's say to globally support, to vote globally, but by supporting the new initiative that takes them out of the enslavement. And really, uh, for any human being, it's a no brainer choice. What do you want? This with the government, with jobs, businesses, retirements, being restricted by money? Or do you want this? This is the freedom where you only need to work a few hours to contribute to society a week, where you have full comfort, full money. You are not in a place of lack. You have harmony. You have less sickness. You have no misery. You have things that are being alleviated. As you can see, it's a no brainer choice. So I could go into more detail with what the good things are. However, each knows in their heart what they want, and those are the good things that are in this reality. So I don't need to explain them all out. All we need to do, as we've already done with this video, the video, the name of it again, the moment for change is now. What it's showing is that, for this good, it's already in place. The people are there, they are organized, the divine souls, the foundation is there, and it's happening. So it just becomes a simple matter of choice for all of the people. What do you decide? Now we see, the desperate resistance at trying to censor these things and um, the mainstream media attempting to keep the truth from the people. But what's occurring? They have lost. The mainstream media, the social uh, media platforms, they have all lost because what they have done is they have put themselves in extreme uh, compromised situations of even the old written laws, let alone universal law. And with that, there is no way they can redeem themselves. The crimes have been fully committed by all the mainstream media that kept reporting the non truths. Um, and putting a twist and a spin on it, it's become so blatant for everyone awakening. So, with this, the mainstream media have lost the resistance through the social medias. All of them have lost, and what they have done is incriminated themselves not only on the old worldly legal level, but as a divine universal level, and also with the people's court and the people's law, which is the real rule uh, of law, and it is above all of the other fictitious laws that the Vatican and dark ones tried to put in place. Creator's law, our divine law is simple. You just do not physically harm another, and you must share everything alike with everyone. So our law is very simple, and anything that's against that, and especially the freedom of speech, is a huge divine violation, which again activates wrath and has repercussions for the ones that do that. So everything is divinely assured. It's a process, and what you will see is the censoring. Uh, I believe very shortly, I'm hoping within a matter of a couple days, will be lifted. The truth put out globally, and we'll see what's occurring politically, and we'll also see the emergence of even more of the like representatives. We're also going to see mass resignations and arrests of politicians globally, and for they have already lost, and we're playing this out, but we're so near the end um, that things are going to happen very rapidly. Between now and the end, be conservative in uh, in the way that you may need to be with the present money that you have to keep yourself going during the transition. Just be prudent in what you are doing, and of course, have no fear. You are always provided for and protected. However, you are responsible to a certain degree to, sustain your existence to at least a comfortable degree where you're not distracted by things of lack and wanton uh, things. So it's best keep your vibrations high, integrate your divine discipline and prudence, and we are indeed in the most glorious times. And yeah, to sit back and watch the show, there are indeed so many joyous moments with this, especially when you see it coming into full fruition, like what the video, the moment for change is now, like it says, and what it represents and what it demonstrates. So it's organized, very powerful. So I suggest for you to watch it if you haven't. Now that's enough. I've been on here, well, it was 1 minute 36 and 33 seconds, but I love you all. Thank you. Millions of winks and kisses and love and light. And thank you all for your continuous support of this quite uh, quite a mission, and that we are all on, and keep doing what you're doing. And of course, for anyone that doesn't know, have no fear. Like the whistleblower said in his video, there's an invisible hand that we don't need protection, and that is very true. When you support what is good and what is divine, and your intent is genuine, uh, we are part of divinity. We are omnipotent. We are invincible. And all of this is imminent. And rejoice, as they put in the comments. We've done it, and this is very huge what is transpiring. So, with I and Fem, we've been watching everything so closely, as I said as well, 24 hours a day, and doing energetic work, working with individuals when we can, that we have not really taken time to relax too much. Um, However, we are in times for all of you to relax a little bit more, unless you still have an important divine uh, application to do. You must follow your divine guidance individually, but if you're a space holder or what have you, take some time and relax and enjoy yourself. And I know many of you are on the edge of your seats watching everything unfold because it's such an exciting time. However, also, get away from the computers and the electronics because you are an energetic being when you need to, and get out in nature. And having said that, I'm soon going to get some natural water before it gets dark here. So, I love you all. Love and light, utmost gratitude, divine comrades, and woo, we did it, and we're doing even more, and you're in the most magical, unprecedented, auspicious, amazing, divine times, and more of the truth will be revealed. to each and every one of you as we continue forward. So I love you. Thank you. Have an amazing day, night, morning, wherever you may be.